It's the Kopite Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Kopite Podcast. It is the team used for Manchester United versus Liverpool. The team is out, so it is Alisson in goal, Fabinho and Hendo at centre-half. We've got Trenton, we've got Robertson in the back as well. We've got a midfield of Shaqiri, Ronaldo and Thiago, and obviously the front three is its usual lethal self. Mick, I'm going to come to you first. Obviously, we spoke a little bit off air, but how are you feeling now that you've seen the team line up in black and white?
Yeah, it's just you're praying and hoping that Joel Matip's going to be fit, aren't you? Just to kind of not allow Henderson to go centre-half, so you can have him in midfield where he produces his best footy. Obviously, him going centre-half makes us a bit weaker. But it's nice to see Shaq in there. It's quite attacking. So I am looking forward to it. I'm disappointed by Matip not being fully fit and ready to go, but apart from that, it's a really good team. So apart from that, that's the only complaint I've got really. But it should be good enough if we start 100 miles an hour in a way that we do in these bigger games, then we should have enough. I'm open.
Yeah, Tim, is anything you know that Matip isn't playing? It's now Hendo and Fabinho at the back.
What was that? Sorry, you broke up there.
I feel like breaking up at the minute, mate. The way this centre back situation is going. Are you feeling since the team lineup's been announced? Obviously, we all thought that Matip would have been fit. There were signs yesterday to say that he would be fit, and obviously he's now. I think he must have failed a late fitness test or something. But how are you feeling about the centre half pairing and the lineup in general?
I'm feeling good about the lineup in general. I think that Klopp has addressed that our issues going forward with Shaq and Thiago on the pitch. I think he's really going to look to push down the middle and expose those two centre halves, because I don't think that they're particularly good, the United pair. In terms of our centre back play, massively frustrating that Matip's missing the game. Obviously. Especially considering they kind of got our hopes up with the pictures of him training a couple of days ago, and you're thinking, this is falling for perfect timing for this huge clash of the top two teams. But what can you do? It is what it is. And Hendo, he had a shaky start when he started centre back, but he did kind of fill into that role pretty well as the last game progressed. So, if he comes out and I think we'll probably have the majority of the ball for the majority of this game. I think United are going to sit back and try and hit us on a counter. And, having Hendo there is not a bad thing in that sense. I think that as long as he keeps his position, he has the pace to keep up with most of their centre forwards. I think the only one that I would struggle like putting him winning a race against is Rashford. But, it is what it is. And I think that, we're just going to have to deal with it at the end of the day. We can't sit here and whinge and moan, but
no, absolutely, mate. Dan's just said I've only just started to feel nervous and really worried about the defending the set piece with like a height lineup. He's absolutely spot on there. And what's the next team? Dan, I'll just read it for you, mate. It's David De Gea. You've got a back line of Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw, Lindelof, obviously centre backs, full-backs. I'm not pairing that the other way around. You got Fernandes, you got Fred, McTominay, Pogba, so it looks like they're playing four in the middle, and then you've got Martial and Rashford up top. But obviously we don't really know what the lineup's going to be in terms of the formation. But Mick, one of the things that I'm looking about our midfield there with Shaqiri starting, it's a big shout that. I mean, we all remember a couple of years ago when he bagged a brace against these lot. And, he played a storm. He'd be right up for this game again. He'll want to repeat that again. We all remember his little overhead kick in pre-season a few years ago as well. He's a bit of a thorn in the side of them. And he's got that quality in midfield, hasn't he, to really create something, because we have lacked that link between the middle and the front three, haven't we?
Yeah, and I think I've seen a load of preferred 11s for this game floating around online, and loads of them saying have Shaqiri in there as the tip of a triangle, and that's what looks like what it is. And people saying Klopp won't go with that, and I was thinking to myself, I don't think he will. I am surprised that he is starting. Obviously, he's been good for us lately, but it's surprising that Klopp hasn't gone tried and tested, but obviously having Hendo having to drop back negates that, because he can't go with, because I imagine if Matip was fit, it would have just picked itself. It would have been Hendo, Thiago and Gini, wouldn't it, in a three, I imagine. But no, I've made up for him. I made up for Shaq, because he's had a lot of injuries lately, and it's nice to see him in there, because he has got that creativity, and him alongside Thiago, and then obviously the front three as well. they can unpick any defence. I mean, these are going to be, I don't know what their lineup is. I can't figure it out. It's going to be, looks like maybe Pogba, Fred and McTominay as a 3. And then, I don't know, Fernandes like on the left. I don't know. I can't figure it out. They'll probably be changing in game, won't they, to try and stifle us. But their team's very good. And obviously, the one thing I'm happy about, to be honest, is Lindelof's playing over Bailly, because I thought Bailly's pace-wise, he's good, because he usually bails Maguire out of tricky situations with his pace. So seeing Lindelof in there makes me feel a bit better, to be honest. So yeah, Shaq, I hope he carries on that good vein of form against the Manx, because we do need him today, because I imagine they're going to be quite defensive, and we're going to need to pick them off when we can. So if anyone can do it, him and Thiago can. Yeah,
Tim, how do you see the game going? Do you see United coming at us straight from kickoff, or do you see them being cagey for the first 60? How do you think this is going to go?
I think this is going to be a very interesting decision from Ollie, because I think that he knows that despite the fact that his team are on a superb run of form, and they've not really been in better form under him since the initial takeover, I think that he knows that if he comes out and tries to play football against this Liverpool side, even if they're in bad form, that they'll kill them. I think that he knows they're not actually solid enough at the back to kind of like freeze out their back line from the midfield and play advanced football. So the way I see this going is the way I see it, have seen it the last couple of times that United have visited Anfield. I think they're going to sit back. I think they've probably watched the last few Liverpool games back and studied it and realised that if you load up the wings and put six, 7 guys behind the ball, we're vulnerable on the counter. So and United not only are good on the counter, they have the pace to be really, really, really good. So I only see this going one way. I think we're gonna see close somewhere between 60 and 70% of the ball. It's going to be majority in United's half. It comes down to whether we're going to be able to create the quality of chances that we have done over the last 2 years, or if we're going to create the quality of chances that we have done over the last 3 games. And that for me will decide the game more than anything the Man United do.
Okay, fair play. Mick, let's just come on to your boyfriend, Thiago. It's his first start at Anfield since he signed. You never would have thought that it would be January when that happens, given the way the season's gone and that poor lad's been injured. Obviously, it's not his first time playing at Anfield, because obviously he played in a Bayern Munich shirt. But, mate, I'm so excited for him to play at Anfield. He'll be buzzing about it, and he'll probably want to have the game of the season, won't he, to try and drive us onto the wing, because it's so important.
Yeah, I'm just made up that he's back fit again. Obviously, he was out for a long time after that Everton challenge from Richarlison. I think he was out for 3 months, wasn't he, until he came back. So he's only, like I said on the last pod, but he's only just finding his form, finding his feet, finding his form, getting the positioning right in this Klopp team, because usually, like we've touched on, like, and everyone knows, when Klopp brings a player in, usually they have a period out of the team while they learn the system and how we play. And he's come in and he's doing it because he's too good to keep out. That's pretty much it. But he's still got to learn what we do and how we play and how things run and who goes where at what time. It's just getting all that familiarity up to speed. So he's still in that process. But having him in the team is huge, because like I said, him and Shaq, between the two, they can unlock any door. It doesn't matter how defensive you are. They can both do it. But yeah, I can't wait for the match now. Like I'm saying, I was good about Matip being out, but at home to these with a point to prove, like, I'm just hoping we start like 300 miles an hour and just on the front foot, and we can get an early goal. That's what I want. I don't want to be getting to 60 odd minutes and it's still 0-0, because I'll always be worried about set pieces.
Nerves will settle in. Yeah, the nerves settle in then, don't they?
It's set pieces and stuff like Maguire and that, and Pogba. They've got some big fellas that can come up from the back to get a little fucking winner at the end, which is that I don't want to get into those latter stages where I'm absolutely shitting me kick. So early goal, please, Reds.
Tim, is a draw a poor result?
I don't think so. I really don't think so. When you think about it, considering the form we've been in for the last 3 games, we've been absolutely appalling against teams that are way worse than this Man United side. So I will be disappointed, but I don't think in the grand scheme of things, a draw is the worst thing that could happen today. the more I think about it, the more nervous I get. But the more I take a step back and look at the way this season's progressing and the fact that everyone's dropping points to everyone, it makes me comfortable with the fact that this isn't a do or die. This is literally the midpoint game of the season. This is the first half out of the way, and if we're in the top 4, I think we're in a position to strike to go on a run of 14, 15 games unbeaten, like we have done for a couple of seasons previous. So I am nervous because I want to beat them. It's the ultimate time to beat them. Confidence is high, the top of the league for the first time in 8 years. It would be lovely to absolutely smack them. But at the end of the day, if we come away with this one sharing points, considering the form they're in and considering the form we're in, I wouldn't be overly disappointed. Okay,
Mick, are you on that ilk, or are you just saying, fuck it, we need 3 points and nothing less? Because I'm in that. I just want the fucking 3 points, me.
Yeah, like you said, a draw wouldn't be the worst in the world. It'd be disappointing because
we know they can be beaten.
Yeah, we know they can be beaten, and we're not in a great vein of form at the moment. But I expect that to change today. We've got the team to beat them at home. I know there's no fans, obviously, which has a huge impact. But with that lineup, we've just read out that should be good enough to beat them. And I think I was saying it a couple of days ago, I'll take a draw now because I wasn't sure about Matip being fit. There was obviously we're not in the greatest of form. I thought I'll take a 0-0. But now that the teams are out and it's on the day, I'm like, we need to, even if it's a 1-0, I honestly don't care as long as we get the win and get that bragging rights, because obviously not losing is the main aim, which I imagine what's Solskjaer's telling his fellas, like, don't lose. That'll be the team talk from their point of view. But for us, we need to go and win. Yeah,
there's been plenty said up before the game, hasn't there? And especially for ex-United players, Rio Ferdinand's done a fucking massive big Instagram essay. Patrice Evra in the last hours said something very disrespectful about Liverpool fans and stuff like that on a subject that I don't even want to go near. The writing's on the wall for both sides in terms of like this could be a massive fucking game, and then we're talking about it, how much it's been important. It could end up being a fucking boring ass 0-0. That just really pissed me off royally. But let's fucking get the win, boys, and we will be back here after the game. Probably back after just about 10 minutes after kickoff, just after that, and let's up the fucking Reds and let's hope we're back here with big smiles and 3 points.